Hi creators, Doro Kiley here with creationcoach.com, and I'm just in from mowing my lawn, and I didn't find any plants to share today, which I usually do. I want to just kind of jump right into things that I'm thinking about right now. First thing is all of these Dutch farmer protests, which are spreading around the world. My understanding is, and I always have to clarify that my news that I get is the same as your news that you're getting. I'm just compiling my perspective and sharing it from various resources. So what I'm seeing right now through these various kind of off the main trail news sources, and they're not even news, most of them are just people reporting. And what I'm seeing is a lot of farmers' unrest due to pressures coming down from the top regarding, nitrogen emissions and ammonia and whatever. I'm all for reducing pollution. I think we all are. Would like to reduce pollution and chemicals, but not to the point of surrendering farmlands to the elites to move their Great Reset agenda forward. I'm trying to tell a new story here because right now all the rioting and the protests, all of the damage that's being done on the farms. This is exactly what was anticipated from the Great Reset agenda. They knew this was coming, so they're not like oops, they're not surprised. And I think the only way to move forward is to give up on all this protesting and rioting and whatever, and start to tell a new story. Now, my little story that I'm coming up with, I will share this. I think that the farmers can, if they're being pushed to the wall to get rid of their farms, abandon their land, I feel like there's a better way. If the populations of these countries could help these farmers, bail them out, get them out of debt, and take over those vast farmlands to create real permaculture community. And I know that sounds like a far stretch and it's kind of a wild story, but you know what? This is all I've got for my story. I'm trying to create a new story. What about you? What's our new story? Just get mad and fight? It's not going to work, I don't believe. I don't think that we don't have the guns, we don't have the power. What we do have is numbers, and if people began to create their own independent communities, permaculture, living off grid, food forests, similar to a video that I did recently on the island of Ikaria in Greece. This is the kind of community I have in mind when I'm talking about community. But there are a number of different kinds of community, and so I have also included a link to a video regarding, it's called What Are the Different Kinds of Intentional Communities? We've got eco-villages, housing co-ops, co-housing. Co-housing is kind of like a homeowners association, but it also might include a one building, like a main building where people can have events if they want to, things like that. I've been to a few co-housing developments, and really, if they're designed well, they are absolutely paradise. But so permaculture co-housing is what I have kind of for my vision, where the gardening is all taking care of the community as much as possible. It's a community that strives to grow families together, let the children play together. There's all kinds of different kinds of communities. So I'm just going to let you browse through um, the link below, because it's a really wonderful thing to learn about anyway. In fact, where I live here up in the mountains of Virginia, on the western side of Virginia in the Blue Ridge Mountains, I moved here 40 years ago, something like that, maybe 30 years ago. Yeah, 30 years ago. And I came here because this is an area that has a lot of community feeling. The one that I'm in is not considered a community. It's just I've got some land on a country road, and everybody else has land on the country road. And what I have been trying to do as, well, originally there was a community down the road that I used to go to once a week for pancakes or community gatherings and get to know everybody around me, all the neighbors. But we all own our own homes, and we all just chose to connect and interact and, know who's around us. We have bonfire potlucks, and there is a sense of community, even though there are no homeowners association or regulations or anything. We are just people in the mountains trying to, be friendly with the neighbors and know who's around. So this kind of community, I think, could work anywhere. The one I'm thinking about for farmers has more to do with, okay, let's say a farm has 100 acres. And they have been using that for farming all these years, and now the pressure from the top is coming down and forcing them to basically go bankrupt because they can't switch to adapt to the new policies overnight. It could take 10 years or so. So these regulations are being imposed clearly in order to force them out, because it's not doable what they're asking. So my suggestion is that the farmers open up their land and invite highly knowledgeable permaculture gardeners, farmers, just to come and talk and try to come up with an idea of how to use that land. Maybe you have to unplug from all the government money and all, so it's a big, scary move, granted. But that big move might be nothing compared to what's coming. I think it could be a good way to avoid if there's going to be any chaos. A self-sustaining community is probably the safest and most desirable place to be for families raising kids. So if you got 100 acres and you have 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 families on there working with permaculture, planting edible forest, raising children together, homeschooling, whatever. This is my vision, and I'm not pushing it on anybody. I'm just saying that if people could come into the farms and set up a permaculture environment and help the farmers get out of debt. I should have mentioned that right from the start, that anybody moving onto the farm would be contributing to helping the farmer get out of debt. Now, however, whether that means buying pieces of the land or just setting up an agreement, maybe a trust, there are so many different ideas. So I don't have a clear picture, but I think we've got to start telling a different story. Where we're going is not going anywhere except right where we're being corralled in to this plan. And if we don't say, wait a minute, that's not really the way I want to go. I think I want to have my own place where I can, have community and make decisions amongst ourselves, how we would like to eat and feed ourselves and raise our kids and have families and friends. I think this is critical because the farmers that are going out of business are either going to give their land to the elites. Well, not give. I mean, obviously, you got Bill Gates out there who now owns, good heavens, I wrote it down. He's got hundreds, thousands of acres now in the United States. He's buying everything up, farmlands left and right. So it looks like the idea is to squeeze the farmers out of business so that the billionaires can step in and buy the land. My suggestion is, okay, let's not do that. Let's get some regular citizens in there who want to help purchase the land or help the farmer get out of debt and build some kind of a ecologically balanced permaculture style life community. That's my idea. I would love to hear more ideas. I do this. This is creation coach. This is what I do. I try to brainstorm new ideas that haven't been considered. That could be either on a large scale, like what I'm talking about right now, or an individual scale. If you would like to unplug from the big city and move back to a more natural country, self-sustaining lifestyle, I would really love to brainstorm that with you, one person at a time, a few people at a time, building a co-housing or something. So I'm going to share these videos below. There's actually 3 videos. The first one is the one on Dutch farmers continuing to protest day and night. The next one is from Sky News Australia, also regarding the farmers' strikes. Now, the first one is actually feet on the ground cameras looking at, what's going on, the bonfires and the in the middle of the highways and the dumping of manure. I mean, there's a lot going on, especially in the Netherlands, by the farmers' strikes. The Sky News Australia, because there's strikes everywhere right now. There's Italy and Spain and all over the world, Germany. The farmers are striking everywhere. I don't think we're seeing a lot of that yet in the United States, but I think it's coming. So the idea would be to have another way of managing this aside from just strikes. So the Australian Sky News is more of a discussion panel talking about and interviewing a farmer, what's going on globally, and also primarily in Australia. So that's my coverage for today. I'm going to put those below. So we've got the Dutch farmers in the Netherlands, feet on the ground video of what's going on. Sky News Australia, a discussion panel in Australia talking with a farmer. Then we have the last one is talking about the different kinds of community, various types of options. We've got to start telling another story. I would love to hear and read any of your comments below. Just throwing ideas, wild as they may be, throwing our pieces of puzzle on the table. We may be able to come up with a picture that suddenly clicks. I just threw my idea out there for the farmers. To take back our power, to take back our independence, to take back our food resilience. And I managed to squeeze in there a little bit of raising kids together and perhaps even homeschooling. These are important ideas. Intentional communities as a word sounds scary to a lot of people. They have this, oh my God, hippies, there's a religious leader. No. These are just people. Think more along the lines of a homeowners association. And so that's kind of the middle ground of an intentional community. But in this case, it would be more permaculture focused to raise food for independence. So that's all I have, and I hope you will take a look at those. I will post these. I'm going to try and post them like Russell Brand does, here and here. But I'll also put the links below. And with that, stay creative. Hi creators, it's Doro Kiley with creationcoach.com, and I'm on a mission to improve this world through you. If you get anything through these videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay creative.